Everyone, Doug here, back once again for the second installment in what will be an ongoing series where I take a look at some curated comments from the channel community. And boy, what an amazing community we've grown here. Y'all have a lot of really cool things to say in terms of starting word contributions, your experiences playing the Wordles, Wordle itself, strategy, your opinions. It's just super cool. So what we decided is that what will happen is Cassandra Hammerstone will be the first person to read each and every one of your comments. And I promise you, we're both going to read all of your comments. She goes first, curates some really particularly interesting ones, and I read them here on this program and give you my immediate, unfiltered, unprepped responses. A reminder, once we're done taping these, I go back and I read everything. So if you do leave a comment, know that both myself and Cassandra Hammerstone are reading them, and we love to do so. So without further ado, let's jump into this week's virtual mailbox.
You've got mail.
Our first comment is regarding the February 24th puzzle. The answer to that one was the word arbor, and spelled A-R-B-O-R. And Nani Mouse, I like that play on words, writes they really shouldn't use words with different US/UK spelling, which is actually a very interesting comment. Of course, folks in the UK will spell the word arbor A-R-B-O-U-R. And that actually just felt to me like a really interesting observation, because I'm sure there are a lot of folks based in the UK that love to play the Wordle, but kind of maybe are forced to think a little counterintuitively in terms of, for example, a word that they would visualize in their minds as a 6-letter word being a 5-letter word. And I just thought that was a really interesting comment. I never really thought about that before, but it just goes to show the diversity of this community. It's a global Wordle community. Things like that come out. So Anani Mouse, I'm sure that is in fact your birth name. I'll just call you Nani. Thank you so much for that comment. Very, very cool to hear from you. Our next comment or set of comments are regarding the February 22nd puzzle. So the answer on that one was the word riper. And apparently there were broken streaks and a lot of troubles with that word. Burnt, our very good friend of the channel here, and also a fellow YouTube Wordle content creator, writes, nice job, hard word, tons of people failing. Wiper is an answer, by the way. Fair enough. That was just the first thing that came into my mind on that. Still got a 3 and missed Viper, which was nice. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a second. Ellen Sassani writes, well done. I follow 12 YouTube Wordlers. On yesterday's Wicked Word, the only one to get it in 3 was Doug. Okay, I did not know that. And that's so cool that within the community there's that kind of level of instant statistician information. Four other internet wordlers, I guess, got it in 3, 5 got it in 5, 6 got it in 2, 1 failed. And here's Brian also writes, now they're using the comparative form of adjectives as solutions. This is getting way too loose. It's not fun if there aren't some standards we can rely on. So a lot of takeaways and a lot of fascinating conversation from the February 22nd puzzle. A few quick thoughts. How did I come up with Riper in 3? I think there's 2 or 3 things I'll attribute that to. One, I can't, obviously the different folks who do the YouTube videos for Wordle out there have different methodologies for selecting an opening word. Some people will spin like a wheel of pre-filled words. Some people will just use the same starting words or their favorites. And of course, we on this channel, it's kind of random in the sense that we take all the recommended starting words from comments, put them in a giant queue, and they come up on a given day. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no premeditation. So some days when we'll take our opening word, we get blank. Some days we go streaks of days on end where we don't get a single tile that's yellow or green. And this particular puzzle, I believe, if I recall correctly, the opening word suggested was pixel, which is was super, super lucky for us, getting the I and the E locked right in there. And then I, found myself between Wiper and Riper, if I remember correctly. So why did I come up with Wiper and Riper? They're just, in my life's experience, two words that come up. Living in the Northeast, you get a lot of rain, so windshield wipers. So the word wiper is familiar to me. I enjoy eating fruit. So oftentimes I'll be in the grocery store with producer Cassandra Hammerstone. We're picking out avocados, and I belly ache that one is riper than the other. I use the word riper in my day-to-day. I've got to tell you, I can't remember the last time I've used the word viper. So it's an interesting observation. Like, when there are a couple different possible words to be found by looking at the letterboard, the unused letters, I think for some people, why didn't you pick Viper? Well, maybe that comes up in your life's experience from time to time, where another person would be more apt to think of the word Riper. And it's so cool that, like, again, when you get these really amazing communities, like the community on this channel, people have these different perspectives on what should be intuitive and what should come into your mind right away. And I just find that so amazing. And of course, again, also great diverse opinions on what should and shouldn't be considered as Wordle solves, like with Brian's comment about comparative form of adjectives. And of course, with that first, the first comment too earlier about the US-UK spelling, I got to tell you, if the folks from the New York Times are watching actively all our videos and are watching this, I would love the opportunity to do an interview with Tracy Bennett, the editor of the Wordle. I know she's done a lot of fantastic interviews with other Wordle content creators, and I got to tell you, I'd love the opportunity to not do the traditional interview where I try to get information on the future of Wordle or the insides of the Times. I kind of want to have a fun conversation with Tracy about the amazing communities online that have formed around this great game from this channel and others. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So Tracy, if you're out there, or if somebody who can be in touch with her, please feel free to have her contact me. I'd love to do a little collaboration there. So feel free. Let's move on here to a fun topic. On the February 23rd puzzle, I asked everyone what their favorite pizza was. And boy, the comments were hopping on that one. Everyone, of course, has their own pizza preference out there. Maggie, to you, wrote, I love this one. Favorite pizza is anything that doesn't have pineapple on it. Yuck and possibly anti-American. I love it, Maggie. Again, nothing like asking people's favorite pizzas. I looked at that maybe more of what brand, maybe a chain or local. And I made a joke about Stouffer's French bread pizza, which is a grocery store frozen pizza. In case anyone was wondering, I'll offer for me both my national chain and regional pizza preferences. I'll probably hear about this in the comments to this video, and I'm prepared for it. I'll freely confess, in terms of chain pizza, I'm a Domino's fella. And I know that some people watching this have probably just had heart failure, and which I'm very sorry, and please don't hold me responsible. In terms of regional pizza, as I've acknowledged before, I'm based in the Northeast corridor of the U.S., so wherever you are in the Northeast, if you talk pizza, ultimately you end up talking about the shoreline of Connecticut, particularly New Haven, Connecticut, and in that, really, the two big players of pizza there would be Frank Pepe's Pizza and Sally's Pizza. So if anyone was wondering, I'll just kind of divulge it. I'm a Sally's Pizza fella. They're both great, but that's just my preference. So of course, if you're listening, Sally from Sally's Pizza, we love you. So there you go. There's that. Let's see what's next in the mailbox here. John Matthews writes, Doug, sometimes it helps if I do Tubes Fling Champ Wordy. Then I have 20 of the 26 letters, meaning taking 4 of the 6 guesses and automatically putting those in. And I do acknowledge that's a strategy one can use. I wouldn't do that on the daily Wordle puzzles. It takes a lot of the interactivity out of it. I love the community submitting starting words, and it's just a fun thing. But even if we hadn't done that, for my money, I think it kind of makes it more an exercise in doing a word unscramble. It maybe takes the difficulty level down a little too much. To each their own. Completely respect. And again, that's another thing that's amazing about this community. There are so many different ways to play Wordle. You can make it super easy, super hard, somewhere in between. And I think, as I said on the last episode of this series, I find myself squarely in the kind of casual recreational side of things, so I kind of a medium difficulty. So that would be why we don't do that here. But again, if that's what gives you the most enjoyment, then by all means you should do it that way. Okay, we have one more here. Burnt, again, one of our favorite folks in the community, wrote to remind me February 21st was our 400th episode of the Daily Wordle here on Dougman's Land. And wow, Burnt, first of all, thank you for kind of being our unofficial Dougman's Land statistician. I give you that title, my good friend. And it's so cool. And you know, first and foremost, this wouldn't have made it to 400 episodes without this really great community forming around it, and it's so active and vibrant. I'm humbled and appreciative of that. That is what gives me the passion to do this and keep going with it and growing the community more and more. It's all about you guys. I'm kind of just a vessel for this stuff that we do, and I hope you enjoy my kind of my catchphrases and my wackiness here. And you know, I rely on you guys to give me starting words, feedback. Tell me what you enjoy or not enjoy, and it just keeps this thing going. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for continuing to come back each day and make me a part of your day for a couple minutes. I hope I help people out in terms of you just need a little pick-me-up, you want a little escapism. I think we all do in the world we live in from time to time. And you know what? Here's the thing. You guys give me that sense of escapism too, just as much as I might give you. It's very mutual. So it's a great thing. So there you go. There's another episode of, we'll call it reacting to comments. Please keep it coming. That's what keeps this thing so vibrant. Use those comments for anything you'd like to say. And of course, we'll come back again next week, and we'll go back to the virtual mailbox. And until then, have a great one, everyone.